What's going on, guys? Ernest, Ralph, ER Sports. We are back to talk to you about one of the things we love the most, and that is the NBA, professional basketball. Bro, NBA season's back. How you feeling?
My brother, this is the best time of the year.
Dude! Best time of the year.
We got football going on, and we're in the cusp of basketball season, bro.
Bro, we're talking about the NBA season. What team are we talking about right now? The Miami Heat.
Baby.
And I'm sure all you Miami fans got your Jimmy Butler jersey. I mean, Big Bro's rocking the black jersey. I got the red. We already got the Vice, the black Vices that are outdated and outsold. We got them. We got more coming in. We're huge Jimmy Butler fans. We're riding this train. Jimmy Butler, the new season of the Miami Heat, bro. How you feeling about this team?
Oh, man, I am stoked, bro. Honestly, man, I haven't been this hyped about the Miami Heat since LeBron left, man.
Yeah, the big three.
And you know what? I know after Miami Heat, after all the NBA Finals appearances and everything, LeBron left, man. But you know what, bro? I understand we had some competitive teams, man, but I really feel that this team, man, really has potential to make some noise.
It's not that the team, it's not how competitive the team is, it's how open the Eastern Conference is now.
Yeah,
because
man.
even though we've had sort of competitive teams before, like 2016 we had a competitive team, but you knew it was all Cleveland. This year, even though that Philly and Milwaukee have a lot of the people's favorites lead, this is an open Eastern Conference. This is an open year for the Miami Heat to do some serious damage. Why? Because we have a bunch of dogs in this team. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
The addition of Jimmy Butler, the fact that Dion Waiters is healthy, Justice Winslow, Bam Adebayo, picking up Tyler Hero, who we're gonna talk about a lot. Tyler Hero. But this team is 10 deep with rough riders willing to do all the little things that most NBA players are not willing to do to get the victory. My feeling, bro, is the reason why this team is going to go far is because you got the rough rider mentality, you got Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley right there, you got these dogs that are willing to do those little things to win. Sky's the limit for this Heat team.
I mean, I don't know how high the sky is, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, here's the thing I see about this Miami Heat team, man. One thing that we were missing since LeBron left, man, was a closer.
Yo.
I know we still had Dwayne Wade, but at the end of the day, my man, Dwayne Wade, we love him, my brother, 305 till you die. All right, man. But at the end of the day, he was on the twilight of his career, man. And then at the end of the day, man, he left to Chicago, came back, had his whole, set sail with the
with the closing, the swan song.
What did we talk about in our previous videos? This Heat team is the perfect team to build around
a superstar.
Thank you. And while Jimmy Butler doesn't quite have that prestige that a Kevin Durant, that a Stephen Curry, that a LeBron James has, Jimmy Butler can take over games.
Oh, yeah.
He can take over games. He can take over offensively.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
even shown at times he can take over defensively. So I feel with the game plan and the system this team has set up with Eric Spoelstra, man, I think that Eric Spoelstra is going to put Jimmy Butler in a position where he's going to go ahead and drop buckets. No pun intended, Jimmy buckets. And I think Jimmy Butler, bro, possibly, man, can have a career year on this team. If you really think about his time, bro, in Chicago, bro, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was a young buck coming up. He was a primetime scorer. There was a year that he did average 25 points a game. He's had 40-plus point games in his career. But the thing is, Chicago didn't see him quite that max level player.
I feel
they feel he was a guy that could carry a franchise. He went to Minnesota, and you know what I'm saying? Even though they call the team the Timberwolves, a bunch of fucking pups on that team. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
And Jimmy Butler even took it to a point in practice. He went ahead and beat the fucking starters with the third stringers.
You know what I'm saying? It was all dramatic thing over there.
So went to Philly, you know what I'm saying? It was a good ride, and God knows if not for that Kawhi Leonard shot, who knows what would have happened after the
Glad he made that shot because we got Jimmy Butler.
Exactly. And you know what, man? Kudos to Pat Riley, man, the Godfather. Kudos to the whole.
Kudos to the fact that you can sell a real basketball player on what hard work and dedication really means. Because that's what he sold with this team. Like you said, he's not the best player in the NBA, but he is damn sure top 20, top 15, and that means something in this NBA.
I do believe that. Look, the man, bro, not only can he score and hit the three ball, he's a good all-around player. You know what I'm saying? He can rebound.
All day.
And when it comes down to it, crunch time, he don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No, fuck.
In my opinion, bro, what Jimmy Butler has that a lot of players lack is the 1990s mentality.
Yeah.
He has the Gary Payton mentality. He has the Sean Kemp, the Karl Malone, that Rough Rider dog mentality that he does not give a damn about what anybody says or thinks about his game.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. He took an entire Minnesota Timberwolves squad and basically broke them because he hurt their feelings about that stuff. Like, that's not here in Miami. Everybody talks.
Yeah.
Everybody spits game, and that's why this team is going to be...
Starting with the Godfather.
Oh my God. That's why it works. That's why he fits this culture so well. And another guy that fits this culture so well that we're seeing game by game is Tyler Hero. Bro, we've talked about it in the preseason. Tyler Hero has been the man. Every Miami Heat fan is looking at this guy as the second coming of Jesus, pretty much. I swear to God, people are pretty much willing to make a statue right now of Tyler Hero. Dwayne Wade's gone. You're looking for your next guy. Jimmy Butler comes. But here comes this guy. With what we talked about before is if he gave us Mike Miller prime was to us ceiling. Now, he's looking like Klay Thompson level, which is a stretch, obviously. But, dude, I got to ask you, watching these preseason games, how you feeling about Tyler Hero?
Dude, I didn't even take the preseason. I watched this guy in Summer League, bro, and this guy was just lighting it up.
You were
bro.
sold. You were sold.
I was sold, man.
Oh,
You know what,
man.
Riley? Kudos to you, my man. So,
Bro, amen.
Okay.
Amen to the Godfather.
So, before we go ahead and grant this guy as the next Klay Thompson,
Yo, let's
snap.
pump the brakes. Pump the brakes on that.
Man. But bottom line, though, what's Tyler Hero, man? He's electric.
Yup.
That guy can shoot that 3 ball.
Yup.
He can pull up on 25, 27 if you need him to, man. He can create it off the dribble also. And at times, he can play the point guard position as well.
he really can.
He's got
great
ball
handling
handle and
skills.
everything and things like that. I'm high on this kid. His game matches his last name.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When it
Hero.
comes down to it, seriously, I really think at the end of the day, man, when it comes to crunch time and things like that, if Jimmy Butler get those double teams and things like that, and you give that ball a Hero in certain spots in the court, man, I believe he's definitely gonna knock down an open shot. I'm in on him, and you know what? If Eric Spoelstra decides that, you know what, this kid's gonna come out and be the starter week 1, well, game 1.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm all
Dude,
for it.
I'm-
And let's do it.
And he's really pushing the expectation levels
Yeah.
even further because everybody thought, okay, it's going to take this kid a while to kind of like progress and show his ability. But game 1 from the preseason, he scored Miami Heat's very first 14 points.
Yeah.
Knocking down threes, hitting the open shots. He's showing that he can play in the starters level. He's been playing great with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Justice Winslow. It is incredible. I think he's progressing further.
Yeah.
Like you said, pumping the brakes is fine. But damn, man. Cocky Miami Heat fan talking, we got the next the Klay Thompson over here. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Well, like I said, it's not Crowns and it's Klay Thompson, bro. And you know what?
Cocky
honestly,
Heat
man,
fan, well.
Yeah, but you know what? Look, let's be honest about one thing, bro. He's still a rookie, man. I'm sure he's gonna hit his bumps in the road. He's gonna have his cold stretches and things like that. But I'm all in on him. I think for the fact at the draft position where we did get him, I really feel that Parallel found gold, my man, and he's gonna build a foundation and a great future.
And what's crazy is that when we drafted him, bro, people were like, why? Who the hell is that? There were so many other names. I'm not going to name them right now because at the top of my head, I can come up with them in a little bit. But there were so many options that people were saying that the Heat should get. When we go back to it, I was doing the live draft reaction of Tyler Hero. When we got him, I was talking about all the versatility that he brings, talking about what the upside that he has. And people were calling me crazy. It was like, no, there was Michael Porter, there was all these other guys. Tyler Hero is going to show that he is the perfect fit in the Heat. Why? Because with Jimmy Butler, that perfect 1-2 punch, it's going to be dynamic.
Look, I'm going to tell you about one thing, man. I was the first one that I was thinking, you know what? North Carolina, Nasir Little. You know, I'm like, you know, he was the one coming out with the hype about lottery pick and things. I'm like, okay, let's jump with this guy. Also, Sekou Dembourne, you know what I'm saying, from France. He was another guy, a project, but they were talking about like, hey, you know what? Antetokounmpo came out from that same trade, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
A guy who came from
man.
Greece and things like that. So I'm looking at these couple of picks. I'm like, okay, we can take this guy. Then all of a sudden, Miami Heat, Tyler Hero. Like, who's this white boy?
Loved it.
Who's this white boy coming out? And the moment I saw him come out into the stage, man, put his hat on the side. Okay, dude, so you think you got swag? Okay,
Yeah.
I see you. I see you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's perfect for Miami. I saw it immediately, man.
Yeah.
I remember I texted you, I'm like, we got a diamond over here. And you even texted me back, you said, pump the brakes. You said the same thing about here. It's like, pump the brakes, chill real quick. And I know that.
But you know
I know
what?
that.
Hey, shout out to the scouts. NBA, our head scouts to the Miami Heat, my man. Great job. And it looks like, bro, potentially we found a diamond.
Absolutely. And that's the next thing I want to talk to you about, bro, is because You can have a great player. You can
Yeah.
have a great two players.
Yeah.
The great thing about the NBA and the best thing about the NBA is your starting lineup.
Yes, sir.
You want to fill your starting lineup with the absolute best players. What I love about this team, bro, and what Eric Spoelstra has done that's been a little bit different is he doesn't have a set starting lineup. He
Okay.
plays the matchups,
Yeah.
which sometimes discredits you and sometimes hurts you. And you can't really talk about a success point for the Heat with what they've done, but sometimes it can work in your benefit. But I've been liking what he's doing lately. He's been locking with a starting lineup core that fits the best. Starting center, Bam Adebayo. Power forward, Myers Leonard. I don't know if that's because Kelly Olynyk's been out. I don't know if he wants to go with Olynyk, but it's
I
been
think
Myers
Olynyk
Leonard.
will be the starting power
Yeah,
forward.
so one of those guys. You got Jimmy Butler at the 3, Tyler Hero at the 2,
Yeah.
and Justice Winslow at the 1.
Yeah.
How do you like that lineup?
Bro, it's loaded with upside right now, man. I mean, like I said, I really like what Winslow did last year, bro. And you know what? One thing you pointed out in our previous videos, man, that actually he improved his ability to hit the 3 ball.
Yo.
I like that. He actually holds his ability. He showed his ability. I'm sorry, guys, about handling the basketball, facilitating the basketball, passing it around, and creating plays and things like that. You know, you don't have to tell me about Tyler Hero. We just mentioned it. You know, but we'll jump right into Bam Adebayo, man. I think this guy has the potential to be a runner for Defensive Player of the Year.
Amen.
I mean,
Amen,
he is DeAndre Jordan like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And he can hit his free throws.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's
Dude
not,
shoots like 75 to 80%. That's incredible.
well, I mean, I don't know exactly what the numbers are right now, but he's not DeAndre Jordan is. He's not going to hit only 48, 50% of his free throws. So what makes Adebayo so valuable is not only is his ability to block shots, not only his ability to rebound, to run the court up and down, you know what I'm saying, with his athleticism, and also play above the rim with
Pass
the
the
lobs.
ball as well. He can pass 6
Sure,
assists, yeah.
that's a plus. Sure, you know what I'm saying? He might have some type of bit, but that's not his strong point. He could probably do it. But I'm talking about his main attributes in terms of rebounding and blocking
Yeah,
and,
of course.
running up and down the court. And his ability to play above the basket. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he can actually hit his free throws does not make him a vulnerability and a liability when late in games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't even have to take him out. I love Adebayo's game, and as young as he is, bro, he's just gonna get better and better and better. And I think, well, I'm not gonna call him Defensive Player of the Year. You know, there's gonna be guys like Andre Drummond, Anthony Davis, guys who are gonna be in the running, maybe even Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
But I think Adebayo is definitely in serious consideration.
Absolutely, man. Adebayo is the guy that you can know that no matter
Yeah.
where you are in the game, he's going to give you every little bit. He plays so
Yeah.
hard. And with Hassan Whiteside not being here anymore, he's given the keys. They're giving the keys to the starting
Yeah, I
center.
know,
He's
man.
our guy,
Yeah.
and it's going to be great watching him
Yeah,
this year.
man.
And I love this lineup, dude, because whether you're starting Myers Leonard or Kelly Olynyk,
Yeah.
it's the perfect set.
Yeah.
You got a 7-foot guy that can hit the wide open 3 and can facilitate the ball. Kelly Olynyk passes a little better, but Myers Leonard shoots better.
Yeah.
So they both have their upside, which is great. You got Jimmy Butler starting at the 3. There's nobody else that can fit that position better. Now here's the dilemma I want to talk to you about, bro. We talked about this a little bit off topic. We felt that Tyler Hero was the clear start for number 2, but we both thought it would take some time to put him in that position.
Yeah.
So we felt, I don't know if you agreed with me, but Dion Waiters would get the nod as the starting shooting guard. It don't seem that way. Dion Waiters has been coming off the bench every game in the preseason. He's looking good, looking like a great 6-man. But I mean, I heard like from different podcasts and from Ira Winterman that he's not totally happy with it. He wants to be starting.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you have a rookie coming and you're a veteran, you want
Yeah,
to be
of course.
starting. And he's lost all the weight, like we talked about before. He's in prime
Yeah.
shape, ready to go. But I think it's better for Dion Waiters to come off the bench, playing against the second unit, the player that he is, because he wants the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
If he's in the starting unit, the ball's going to be in Winslow's hands, facilitating to other players. I think Dion Waiters is better coming off the bench, bro. That's my opinion. I don't know how you feel. I know you probably feel the same way. Tyler Hero should start, especially with the shooting ability. I think Dion Waiters better coming off the bench, bro.
Well, I was a proponent when Jimmy Butler first signed that actually Jimmy Butler was going to be the 2 guard of this team.
Yeah.
And that, because we really, if you think about it, brother, we don't really have a traditional backup point guard other than Goran Dragic being our starter. I mean, Justice Winslow, the thought is we're going to transition him being the point guard of this team. I think the jury is still out, my man. I know he did some good things last year and everything, but at the end of the day, I think that you mentioned about one thing about this Miami Heat roster, we're gonna go ahead and play the matchups.
Yeah.
So maybe 1 week it will be Justin Swizzle, and another week it will be Goran Dragic.
Which is great that we can do.
So waiters could be involved in that just like that too. I just see waiters in situations where, you know what I'm saying, that maybe he might start games.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be Hero starting games. Obviously, waiters showing in the past his ability to go ahead and actually score off the bench.
Yeah.
And actually score in bunches and things like that. You know, I mean, obviously his biggest pet peeve has been his health, more than anything
True.
else. But I do believe at the end of the day, bro, that waiters, if he's committed, man, he can definitely go ahead and have value, even now as a starter, but as a sixth man, coming off the bench, man, and offering that instant scoring punch off the bench.
So how beautiful is this though? While you were saying that, I was just thinking in the top of my head, you have 48 minutes for a basketball game. A point guard and a shooting guard position. And you have 4 amazing players to rotate around that. You don't have to think about any other players. In your point guard and shooting guard position, you have Justice Winslow, Tyler Hero, Dion Waiters, and Goran Dragic. You can start who you want, you can play who you want, you can rotate and play matchups. Who has that in the NBA? 4 guys that you can consistently count on that position to multiple around however you want. We have that. That's beautiful. I mean, off the top of my head, that's a beauty thing to talk about. So we have that. We talked about the power forward position.
Yeah.
Adebayo has the clear-cut center. Jimmy Butler is sold in the small forward position. But then we have other great players just sitting in the wing waiting for an opportunity. You have Derrick Jones Jr., who Eric Spoelstra truly relies on. This is a kid who's one of the highest vertical leaps in the NBA. Eric Spoelstra has taught this kid to become one of the best offensive rebounders. If you watch his game, guys, he's a beautiful dunker. But one thing you want to watch about his game, look at the misses that the Heat made. Last year, when Wayne Ellington was coming off the screen and missing those threes, or Dwayne Wade was creating separations and missing those jump shots, who was there leaping over players, putting in dunks?
Yeah.
Derrick Jones Jr. He found his opportunities to average anywhere between 6 to 12 points a game, simply from grabbing offensive rebounds and putting them back in, which is another skill that Bam Adebayo has. So that's 2 players that has that technique.
Absolutely.
So Derrick Jones Jr. is a beautiful technician that you can have. You can play him in 25 minutes in some games. Some games he won't even play. It's like you said, playing the matchups. So I know there's probably not much to talk about with Derrick Jones Jr., but there's another player that's in a weird situation. James Johnson, Mr. $15, $16 million a year guy.
Yeah.
He's not with the team. He failed his conditioning test. I mean, no, he passed the conditioning test, but he's not at the weight and the body fat count that Pat Riley wants.
Yeah.
You're paying so much money for a guy that's barely playing and not with the team right now. Would you say James Johnson still has any upside, or would you say it's a complete disappointment?
He was a disappointment moment he's on.
Trash.
Okay, so I mean, James Johnson, man, like I said, he's the type of player, bro, man, that, you know what, he's kind of a poor man's Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? He kind of gives you a little bit across the board. He's an all-around player. He can go ahead and drive to the basket, hit the open shot, solid rebounder. He can actually pass the ball, play some defense and things like that. I love James Johnson when he was playing for $2-3 million a year.
Yeah.
Now for $14-15 million a year. And you know what, brother? Remember we mentioned 2 years ago, I told you the moment we gave him that contract, I'm like, no, man. No, overpaid.
He got that contract, bro, and he just settled.
But you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. We gotta eat it. We gotta deal with it.
We're hoping, man, that James Johnson can turn it around. Hey, bro, if he comes back, he can be that 9th or 10th man, give you what you need. He's also that guy that can give you 6 fouls.
Honestly,
He's like Udonis Haslam
no,
type, man.
you know what, bro? At that price, no. James Johnson could do better. He could do better, man. You know what I'm saying? He could have solid games. You know, he's not a guy who's gonna give you 10 rebounds. He's not going to give you 10 assists. No. He's not going to drop 20 points.
He's not going to give you what he gave you in 2017.
He has a black belt. You know what I'm saying? The guy might
which those 6 fouls come handy.
Yeah, I mean,
he could be your goon.
Every NBA your karate chop, your kicks your head off.
Look, you know every great NBA team needs a goon. He's your goon.
But you don't want a goon at $15 million. That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? So bottom line is this guy, we're stuck with him. He's not gonna go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm not gonna hate
$15 million goon.
Yeah, I mean seriously. I mean guys, that's the truth. So at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? We paid $50 million for a goon, and it is what it is. So we gotta make the best out of it, dog. So at the end of the day, where do I see James Johnson? He's not a starter.
No.
He's not even a 6th man. Can he be a role player in this team?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
15, 20 minutes off the bench, he can do that.
Absolutely.
And guys, here's another great thing about it. He's not on the bad side of the contract. He's on the 3rd year, and next year's in his final year. Whether it's this year or next year, we might be able to find a trade for him. So his contract, Dion Waiters' contract, they're getting on the right side, and we're going to open up. Which is another thing we want to transition to, getting away from the players. Things are going to start opening up for the Miami Heat. And trade possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
We're still open with that. And I know, I don't know if you read the reports, bro. We haven't discussed it, but talks about Miami Heat wanting to open up for 2020, 2021, because we know that we're going to start leaving these contracts from Olynyk, Waiters. But a trade possibility we talked about in the past that can open up as well right now, bro. Now, you got to give it some time in the NBA season. See how this team does. Chris Paul.
Yeah, man.
Dude. Let's say 20 games are into the season. Miami is, let's say, 12-8, something like that, and the Thunder's 4-16. And we call Oklahoma City Thunder back with the original offer.
So let's stop right there.
I'm just saying, bro. Come on, you gotta give him an offer. It's like you offer Dragic.
Let's stop right there. Here's the bottom line, okay? The reason they have Chris Paul is because they did Russell Westbrook a favor.
Exactly. Okay? So they're gonna try to deal him.
They're gonna try to deal him, but look, that was a trade that they never had to make. They could have made that trade with Miami originally. They could have gotten that. I know you told me your reports about Adebayo, about Tyler Hero. Brother, here's the bottom line. And just like Westbrook went up to Thunder management, told them, I want to go to Houston, he could have said the same thing, I want to come to Miami, and that same train will facilitate it.
Yeah.
Dragic, James Johnson, Dion Waiters, so on and so forth. Now, maybe it wouldn't include the draft pick, so I do feel in that trade, it would have been like, okay, look, we could get 2 first-round picks and 2 swaps.
Gotcha.
We want from you, Miami. You don't have first-round picks. We want 2 swaps, and we want Winslow to go with Dragic.
I feel you.
I'm sure the trade would have happened, but that was a personal decision by Westbrook to go ahead and end up with Houston and not Miami. You're a mistake. Anyways, so now going back to CP3, I like the fit. I hate the money, but I like the fit of Chris Paul on this team, man. Especially think about forget about Jimmy Butler's game, because Jimmy Butler's always going to be Jimmy Butler. Chris Paul can be a plus. But what CP3 can do for Tyler Hero and Adebayo. Look what he did with DeAndre Jordan's career, bro.
True, man. Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan was solid.
I'm telling you.
You know what? Honestly, DeAndre Jordan has gotten 2 big contracts in the league. He has Chris Paul to thank. If I'm DeAndre Jordan, I'm inviting Chris Paul to every Easter, to every Labor Day, to every Thanksgiving, to every Christmas, and every New Year's party. Because Chris Paul got DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and that's the great thing about ER Sports when it comes to the Miami Heat. You have the realistic Miami Heat fan who will give it to you 100% straight, and you have cocky Heat fan who tells perspectives and things the way that we would love to see them. That's the great thing about us, bro. Gotta love it.
Hey, in my case, this is being cocky. But you know what? At the end of the day, guys, I think CP3 will be a good fit.
Yeah.
I do really feel that Oklahoma City, at the end of the day, will probably look at it and say, okay, you know what? We could eat Chris Paul's last 3 years, or we can just go ahead and flip them for guys like Dragic, Waiters, and James Johnson, whose contracts come off the next year or 2.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but I understand where you're coming from. Oklahoma doesn't want to, they want to exhaust all their options. Instead of making it, that's probably like a last resort deal to them because they're not getting any huge upside on that. So I get it. That's why they.
Well, their upside is actually cap relief.
Cap
relief, and tax relief.
Yeah, cap relief, but like, I'm sure they're not just going to take that offer. They're going to try to see if they can get some assets for a guy like Chris Paul. If they're going to make a deal with like Dion Waiters, James Johnson, and Kelly Olynyk or something like that, it's because they've exhausted their options. They can't get draft picks. They can't get young players. It is what it is. Relief cap.
Or they're also saving the last 2 years of Chris Paul's contract, which should total about, if I'm not mistaken, $80 million.
I know what I've heard. The Heat are not going to make that deal unless they either A, get 2 of their draft picks back for 2021 and 2023, and if Chris Paul agrees to opt out of his player contract, which nobody is going to opt out of a $44 million contract.
No.
Nobody.
Oh,
I don't care. No. He's like, no, I don't see it. Bro, this is an exciting season.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I know we've talked a lot about it. I know we went really in details because this is one of the most exciting Heat seasons since 2014.
Yeah,
this
man.
is great. We're a contender, guys. I don't care what anybody thinks or says. Miami Heat is a top 5 contender in the Eastern Conference. We got our jerseys. We're ready to go. Heat Nation is ready to stand up.
Yup.
Bro, we've talked about every player. Our DP fans, you guys are going to mention it, and I'll take this minute to talk about these 2 players, Duncan Robinson and Kendrick Nunn. These 2 guys are fucking awesome. Duncan Robinson is a 6'10" forward that can hit the open 3, and Kendrick Nunn is a beast at a guard. He just knocked down 40 points the other game in a preseason game. This is a guy that honestly I feel we can trade for a Chris Paul. We could trade Goran Dragic and be confident that we have a guard back there. Kendrick Nunn is a guy that you keep on your team and you hold him for the future. Great player. We don't want to get too detailed about these 2 guys, but we're going to mention them because this is for deep Miami Heat fans. We recognize them. Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, keep doing your thing. Bro, before we sign out, is there anything you want to add extra in the Heat? Anything extra in the Miami Heat? Anything you want to talk about?
Let's go Heat. Let's go Heat, man. No,
All
I'm
right.
ready, bro.
All right.
I'm ready to go.
How far do you think this team can go? I know we want to say NBA Finals, but realistically, where do you think we can go?
Realistic, my brother, considering the coaching staff, considering the potential of the team, I think that we could actually push this team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay, I agree. I agree.
man. I really
NBA
do.
Finals are stretching it, guys, but look, you take this Miami Heat team filled with dogs to the second round against
Yeah, man.
Milwaukee or Philadelphia, and you get into these guys' heads, play them hard, maybe talk Dwayne Wade into coming back.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's always a shot.
He said, never say never. If this Heat team goes far, I'm just saying, you push it far, you never know what can happen.
Yeah, man.
In this NBA league, you never know what can happen. Guys, this is your forum.